Exiting zero gravity.
But that one sounds a little impersonal. That one just sounds like a dude just insulting somebody.
It's on board. Please come and join me. Together we can stop this hive mind. We can end this nightmare at last.
And look, he opened it up for me. Ain't that just nice? I remember my first comp game, and the Junk/Reaper was just flaming us all when he was doing nothing, as we were. Oh, when he was doing as poorly as you guys were. That wasn't fun. Oh, you know, if everybody's doing bad, then the one guy who has an attitude problem just needs to make sure that everybody knows. You weren't even doing badly that game? That sucks. Now watch this.
Over here! Hurry! There's no time to waste. We must do it.
That was a really good shot.
Amelia, where are you going?
That was a really good shot considering the way he was angled.
Sorry, Isaac. I couldn't let him go through with it. I suppose I should thank you for finding the marker. We even managed without help from the USM Valor. Thank you for helping me find him, by the way. My department's been looking for this place for a long time. See what kind didn't know us? It was the government's mess to begin with. This whole planet is one big experiment. The marker? This divine relic? Made by man. They reverse engineered it a couple of hundred years ago from the real marker, a true alien artifact recovered on Earth. They dug it up, studied it, and they made it their own. Then they brought it to Aegis 7 and activated it. And you've seen the result. The stuff of nightmares. They sealed the system, and no one would have been the wiser. But then the CEC blunders in and starts tearing the planet apart. The experiment was still alive. Kine was right about the hive mind. The marker would contain it, but that doesn't matter now, does it? I have the marker, and this entire system can go to hell. For what it's worth, you did a great job, Isaac. See you around. Or maybe not.
Isaac, this hole. I need you to help. Help us. Now. I'm in the flight control room. Please, Isaac, hurry. Please.
Okay, I'm not kidding you. None of you gonna talk about poor Klein. He was helping us the whole time. In fact, he might have been the friendliest guy here. And he just got shot in the chest. Right in the chest, too. Maybe even 3. Poor dude. Considering the angle, I'm really surprised she even managed that shot. But it is a levy. Well, such is life and such is death for that poor guy. I am not dealing with your BS. Maybe you could tell me what you're doing wrong? You're doing nothing wrong. You're doing fine. Although in-game, oh yeah, maybe. I don't know if you're gold, though. That's like a lot of stuff to cover. Look at his head. What did I just use? It must have been a medium.
Isaac? Is that really you? I never thought we'd be together again. God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what I did. I never wanted to hurt you. You need to get it back now, Isaac. You can pilot the shuttle remotely from here. Make us whole again. Make us whole again.
Her hair, look at that thing. It just ain't right. It's a diamond. Yeah, this all seems right, doesn't it? Yeah, this seems completely fine. This is normal.
Isaac, what the hell are you doing? You're making a big mistake. This is not over.
Escape pod away, crew shuttle USG-09. Repeat. Shuttle has ejected escape pod.
It doesn't matter. She can't escape her fate. None of us can. Here it comes. I'll reprogram the shuttle so we can fly down to the colony. We're so close, Isaac. Now go! Get on the shuttle. I'll meet you there.
Nobody's gonna say anything about this. Nobody. Not even a single comment on how that thing is still alive. Or standing here. Just past that other necromorph. Man, y'all are some cold-hearted people. Come on, let me through. There we go. Your game just died, or stream just died. I wonder if I should have played Survival at some point. I don't know. I saw enough of it. It's a cool concept. I have not. Well, time to go down to the colony for the final bit of the game. It took 6. Oh well, that's fine. It didn't pay back, but eh. You never did your placements. That's too bad. You really should have. I'll let you guys watch this.
You're doing the right thing, Isaac. We're together now. The way it always should have been. I knew you'd come back for me. Nothing could stop us now.
Yep, and there's that. There, she's sealed off. Gone. This game's freaking people.
Isaac,
We're down at the colony.
To get the marker off the shuttle.
There she is. Ain't this place just pretty? It almost makes you forget all the horrifying death. Almost. If it wasn't for all the blood on the ground. And the babies that I'm probably going to encounter. Feed the crater. It requires bodies. Been thinking about doing your placements this weekend. I just can't even imagine people haven't done their placements yet. Considering the season started about a month ago. You gotta be on top of that thing. You gotta be on your A game. Although it might be different for Grandmasters. As being high rank in that game is like a drug to us. To other people it might actually just be a game. Been having Vel help you? You see, that might be your problem. I've always said you should cut out dead weight. And as I've already discussed, she isn't 18 yet, so she's not even a human being. Not yet. Doesn't have her card. Am I... Oh yeah. Nope. Don't do too good. You understand? Oh, oops. your mess of nervousness and anxiety, don't think about it. Literally, just don't think about it. Just press that button, you go in, and you play the game. It's easy. I mean, it's not easy, and most of the time it turns you into a wreck, but, you know, it's easy. Just ignore the fact that every single person in that place is constantly judging you and wanting literally the 100% out of you. But, you know, just you forget about it. This isn't the fastest way. There's still 2 months to do comp this season. I really hope I hit the top 500 this season. My progress is really, really slow. Probably because instead of playing that, I'm playing games like Dead Space. I just don't have the dedication that some other countries have. It's probably why the Asian scene is so much better. They treat that stuff like a religion. Americans just kind of do it. You just feel so dumb crying because a rando on the internet was mean? Randos are the weirdest. Mostly because we decided to shorten the word random to rando, when random was already short enough. Hey, no. Bad bat. Well, I'm confused. Is this a bat or a stingray? It's kind of both. Hey, no, stop that. Stop breeding. It's not allowed here. There we go. I think it might actually be closer to a stingray. A land stingray. First they killed Irwin, now they're killing these people. When will the government stop their sinful, well, stingers? They don't really have hands. They have wings. Give me that battery, I want it. Ooh, we got a shop. That's how you feel with Hanzo. Just don't play Hanzo. It becomes a lot easier once you don't pick something terrible. So much extra stuff that I'm never gonna use. Never. Not once. That's pretty nice. Think Hanzo was fun? Yeah, he's fun, but most people are terrible at him. And thus, they should not pick him. Unless you're trying to practice. It might be different in the lower ranks, and I will assume that it is, but, higher up, you need to be something like inhuman in order to be effective. So you can't, like, pick what you want. You have to pick what you're good at. It's a bit of a terrible situation, but eh. Ooh, yeah. You don't play Hanzo and Comp because you're terrible at it. Yeah, there you go. See, they get the idea. You just admit that you're horrible and you never try anything new ever. Because what's better, having fun or winning? I think you know the answer. Some people can just be so rude. Yeah, but you deal with it. You ever work retail? I haven't, and I'm better for it.
This is Sergeant Newman, PSEC. We've lost all the shuttles. One of them just took off, they came straight back down and crashed into the bay. Took a couple of 100 people and all the remaining shuttles with it. If anyone can hear this, do not land. Do not land.
I don't remember there being a semiconductor nearby. And I was right. Use like one more node. Although what I'll use it on, I don't know. You worked loan servicing? Oh, so you were a shark. I knew it. You had that kind of thing about you. You call it loan servicing. Just tell me that you broke people's legs. It's fine. We're a safe place here. So did you normally use a bat or a crowbar or a hammer? Those things would probably be very useful at that. It was pretty intense. I bet it was. Kneecaps flying everywhere. It's all in the wrist, you know. It's not so much how hard you hit with your arm so much as how hard you flick the wrist. Just not hitting him more. Get back here. Gotta hit the tail of it. I get everything, including the head. Yep. Heads down. Oh, student loans? That's even worse. Not only were you breaking kneecaps, but you were breaking the kneecaps of people who couldn't afford top ramen. You know, you do what you gotta do to survive. Manage the finances for a retail store right now when I'm done with the morning stuff. I have to go out on the floor. Ooh, that's terrible. You know, the solution to that is just never be done with morning stuff. Just keep doing the finances. Never stop. They ask you what's going on, you just be like, there's just so many finances. You wouldn't believe how many I have to deal with. And they'll usually believe you. Traditional Swedish meals. I don't know what those are. I'm assuming mostly meat. Possibly sheep. Oh, meatballs. Yes. Made from horse. How could I be so silly? Of course. That doorway is just locked. I don't remember that. So you deal with cashiers being dumbasses and rude-ass customers. Well, you know, most customers are rude. It's part of the business. It's nothing personal. They just want a better deal. We're still back in the old time where we could trade 2 sheep for a chicken. Although that was always a horrible deal, it was just nice that you could at least argue with somebody.
Security has been notified.
Now that, like, each chicken is about $1, things have changed. I don't think you guys realize just how cheap chicks can be. Could buy a whole farm if I wanted to. The problem is then afterwards. Because if there's one thing I'm not dealing with, it's clucking. I'm really glad they just all keep deciding to come out of the same vent. Otherwise, I might have to think for a moment. And that's just terrible. I hear another chicken nugget behind me. I am now surrounded. It's almost like Dr. Strangelove. You just have to stop being afraid of the explosions and actually become one with them. Pretty much solves all of the problems. Just have to be okay with the fact that every once in a while you're gonna explode. Stop using Ripper when these guys stop spitting out blades. No idea why a baby is carrying Ripper blades on them, but you know. It's a dog-eat-dog world, or more like a baby-eat-baby. Or it's just kind of possible that these babies ate the old babies, considering I'm not sure all of them got through the test tubes. Some of them probably got turned into nutrients. Aliens gotta do what they gotta do to survive. It ain't their fault. See, baby, it's just easy pickings. Some really dark stuff. This might be the useless one. Oh, I can't go into it yet. Well, yeah, it's about that useless. You were awesome at sales. Yeah, a lot of people find their calling in sales. They're able to really BS. Just absolutely horribly, just completely sell the worst things to customers, and customers would eat it up. I would know. My mother was one. No, don't you dare. What kind of bridge goes up for half a second? So if anybody hasn't been paying attention to the story so far, this story is essentially the government did something wrong. And everybody's just like, ah, dang that government. Making an alien technology that turns people into, well, I was going to say necrophiliac, but that ain't exactly true. I don't think it counts if it goes to the skull. But dang that government, they created dead bodies. Dead bodies that walk and talk. I mean, sure, that's pretty much most people's dreams that will happen, but dang them. We gotta be on the other side of this. Hey, look. I was waiting for a nugget. I will take that. You'd think a giant glowing orange target would be slightly easier to hit. If I wasn't terrible at it, maybe it would be. Time for the exploration part. You're eating one M? I don't know what an M is. Is that like an Emina? In which case I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to eat that. Door? Oh, can't go into it. Fish, crackers, and cheese. Is that like actual fish? Oh wait, no, it's chips that I'm thinking about. You're not. Whatever. I was about to say you're not European. Then I remember I have no idea what you are. There's another guitarist here now. Oh wow, I'm reading a message from quite a while ago. Cheap chicks. Oh, the chicks are cheap. It's just that they also cheap. And you don't like that. Cheaping isn't worth the cheap. Cheap isn't worth the cheaping. You also like taking dudes out, so I guess you were kind of cheap. Did you do it for the free food? Because if so, then you might actually be a horrible person. Which is great, because I modded you, so I need that kind of backbone. I hear the distressed moanings of a guy who wanted to try something new, but now doesn't like it. It's just that he forgot the safe word, so he's kinda stuck. Oh, there's two of them. Even worse. Please, I have to. Just a little bit. There we go. I missed! He stuck to a wall and I missed. This is why Aleki plays for Team Complexity, and I play Reinhardt. One of these things is better than the other. Oh, stop your screaming. I shot off a few tentacles, so what? It doesn't hurt that badly. I'm assuming. You don't have a nervous system anymore. You're kind of just an amorphous blob stuck to the wall. Like silly putty. But screaming. No, the food isn't free. I said I like taking them out. You pay. Oh no, that just hurts them. You gotta let them pay. I know it sounds weird as heck, but you gotta let them. It's a man thing. They like doing it. They'll complain about it sometimes, but like inside, it's a good feeling. And then they'll realize, oh wait, crap, I spent like $120 on that dinner. Well, looks like it's air and some water for me tonight. What's up, buddy? You're also stuck to the wall, but you're not a blob, so you can live. Instead, you're like a... I actually don't know what to equate you to, a squid? Alright. Good talk. I'm actually full. This is surprising. I remember, you know what, no, actually, this is exactly how I remember the game. Just kind of breeze through it. Of course they do, but after like 10 years, things tend to get pretty egalitarian. Wait, so you don't like taking guys out, you'd like taking one guy out. Unless you're polygamist. In which case I say there might be better ways of approaching that situation. You could take all of them out at once. I'm assuming that would break the bank, but then you'd have all of your expenses on one day. I'm gonna keep some extra ammo around for what's coming up. Don't need that many ripper blades though. 15 can pretty much get you through the game, no problem. So many nodes. And not enough things to upgrade. I'm supposed to go that way. I guess I am. Alrighty then. Oh yes, now I remember. The tube. It's always pipes. Pipes and tubes. I think there's supposed to be symbolism here of what may or may not be a kind of creepy variety. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want to kill dogs, but they came to me. Although I don't think most people would admit that for self-defense. A dog attacked you, so you used what on it? I believe it is called a ripsaw. It is missing both of its legs. Well, you know, at that point, you just gotta make sure it doesn't come back. Although I don't know if my analogy of a dog is correct. It only has 2 arms. And a giant tail. It's probably closer to a scorpion. Scorpion isn't nearly as funny when I say I totally murdered that scorpion. It doesn't have the same ring as I totally mutilated that dog. Like the babies. You'd be motion sick playing this. Glad you're just watching. Thankfully, I'm normally immune to the whole motion sickness thing. Although, I will admit, sometimes too. Every once in a while, I do get the feeling that I need to stop for a moment. But you can't. Show must go on and all that jazz. Yes, I know, I'm a slave to my work. I do it all for you. Please on what? The puppy killing? Maybe. Maybe it's not exactly the best topic. But at this point, I'm just kind of reaching the bottom of the barrel. Story-infested barrel of bad analogies and allegories. Which, funny enough, is the title of the next book I'm writing. Gotta give me some credit here. At the moment, this is all I'm fighting, just puppies and babies. I can't get close enough to smash one of them, so I have to smash either both or neither. It surely does save on ammo, but it looks ridiculous. And it may or may not be visually horrifying. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta take the good with the bad. Sure, it gives you nightmares, but it's so cool looking. You'd probably be a really good dungeon master. I know, I thought about that. But that's the thing, I don't have friends. And if I did have any, I don't think they'd want to play Dungeons and Dragons. Mostly because it would take me about 3.5 years to set up a campaign. Everything's gotta be perfect. This guy is supposed to be so big and horrifying, but he's just kind of goofy looking. Him and his really, really long tooth. Although I don't know if that's a tooth, that's more like a spike. Just crossed your mind? It's crossed my mind a couple times. It's a wavelength.